the heart is where your emotions lie, right? But if we work off emotion, 9 times out of 10, that is not the most logical or positive means. So why do we consistently, goodness gracious, fall prisoner to our emotions? Let's talk about it. What up, what up, what up, peeps? It's Big Bro CJ again, and today we are talking about the heart. Um, the heart is actually something that I've been learning myself. Well, a lot of these things I've been learning myself recently, and like, it's just, I don't know, like, it's kind of helped me get through even more stuff that I didn't know was going to be happening after I was already struggling with such stuff. So, but yeah, let's get into it. So, what's the dictionary say? This is the definition of the heart. I'm gonna read two of them. Yeah, I'm gonna read two of them. The center of total personality, especially with reference to intuition, feeling, and emotion. The next one says the center of emotion, especially as contrasted to the head as the center of the intellect. Okay. With those, right, which is basic, that's like definition. That's the definition of the heart. It always goes back to emotion. Like your heart is where your emotions lie. Meaning like pretty much like, oh, that made me sad. Oh, this made me happy. This made me like oh, this made me angry, stuff like that. That all is pretty much pertaining to the heart. It's funny how it says, the second definition that I read says, it's in contrast to the head, which is the center of intellect, which is nuts, right? So it's saying pretty much the heart is not where your mind is or your right thinking is or like your intellect is. Pretty much face like they pretty much said it. It's not where your intellect is. It's pretty much where your emotions are. Which, like, honestly, if you think like if you dig deep, the last time you were emotional, you feel me? One, emotions are don't last very long. So, like, think about the last time you had a really tough heart and emotion. You feel me? And like think about why. You feel me? The last time I really had like some real emotion. I was talking to some homies the other day, and like, I don't know, like I was trying to get a point across. You feel me? And then like, I kind of realized, all right, well, why am I tripping a little bit? You feel me? Why is my heart so into this? And I realized it's because I love my homies. You feel me? And I wanted them to know my perspective and like what I thought on something. You feel me? And like I started, my emotions started to get heightened. You feel me? Now looking back, it's like, okay, well, I'm cool now. Like those emotions are gone now. Like I'm not tripping anymore. But like your heart is attached to your emotions. You feel me? And that's not like I'm not saying your physical heart is touching like, you feel me? But you know. Of course, y'all know I got to go to the Bible. You feel me? And I had like a few verses on it. I had like there's literally so many places in the Bible about the heart. You feel me? Which is like, jeez. Okay, but all right, let's get to it. The first one that really stuck out to me was Proverbs 27:19, and it says, "As in water, face reflects face, so the heart of man reflects the man." Okay, for me that means like your heart reflects pretty much like the things that you care about. You feel me? So your heart reflects what you are as a person, what you care about, and stuff like that. So that means like, honestly, like like I personally love my family. You feel me? So the people who usually can get me like frustrated the most, you feel me, is my family. Why? Because my they have my heart. They're attached to my heart. You feel me? So it's like honestly, if you think like if you think of like things that like you really care about, they have your heart. Like some people love money. Well, you shouldn't love money, but some people love money. So as soon as like some money leaves or like they got to spend money, you feel like it's like the ooh, you feel me? It's like a feeling of like dang, like I'm losing something. You feel me? Why? Because your heart is attached to money. I realize for myself, my heart is attached to people. You feel me? Me myself. I've realized like I'm a big-hearted dude. You feel me? So like it's easy for my heart to attach to things. You feel me? So like with that said, like a lot of like I care about people. Like if I have a relationship with you, you're my homie, you're my friend. Like I'm dating you, thus and so it's easy for me to get my heart attached. But like it's easy for me to get my heart attached. So then that means you also have my emotions. So like that means like if you my homie, you feel me, you do something foul to me, you feel me, that really hurts my heart, and then I'm mad or I'm frustrated at you and I'm tripping, you feel me, and my emotion being that my emotions are attached to you because you have my heart, it's I react, you feel me, or my emotions react because you did something. Another verse, let's keep going. This one might rattle some cages, but it's whatever. Jeremiah 17:9, and it says, "The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately sick. Who can understand it?" To me, right, I feel like it's talking about like the heart and the emotions that you have and the emotions that you carry. So like speaking on that, it's like sometimes your emotions, a lot of the times your emotions, you feel me, you have a reason for your emotions, but like sometimes they'll trick you, you feel me, or like they'll trick you to do something. If you move on the emotion that you have because of your heart, nine times out of ten it's going to lead you down something that's not as smart as when you use your intellect, which the dictionary, this is not even Bible, the dictionary said your mind and your head is the place of your intellect, you feel me? So when you move in your heart and stuff like that, you're moving with your heart and your emotions. Most times you're not doing the most logical thing. Like, example, you might have a crush, like you might like somebody, you feel me, and you know that person is not positive for you. You feel me? Like logically that person's not positive for you. Meaning like, oh well, she does this, she messes around with a lot of guys, he messes around with a lot of girls, he's doing this and so, he hasn't been consistent in this, she hasn't been consistent in this. She's like blah blah, and logically, you feel me, you'll know all these things, but if you move with your heart or your emotions might be attached to that person because you're attracted to them. They make you laugh. They give you positive emotions. You feel me? They bring positive emotions for you. You feel me? But at the same time, at the end of the day, logically, you're like, nah. You feel me? Like, you're not beneficial for me. You feel me? So it's like the heart is deceitful. You feel me? And sometimes the heart and the emotions can try and seep into your head and get you to think, oh well, they did that to that person, but they're always nice to me, or oh they messed around and treated that guy like garbage, you feel me, but they're nice to me, you feel me, and they do nice to me, and that's your emotions trying to push your logic out and then just have you in those feelings and moving on those feelings, which most times that's not a good thing to do. Like even with love has to be an action, a continuous action, no matter how you feel. So it's like, which I might have to talk about love deeper on another time. But like love is a continuous action that you always have to do, no matter how you feel. Like if I went off of how my people in my life had did me, you feel me? Like, so, like people have done me dirty, you feel me? But like, if I just subtracted my love because how my emotions were, you feel me? Then I wouldn't be able to love anybody, you feel me? Like, nobody's always going to be perfect all the time. No, nobody's going to be able to make you happy all the time, you feel me? But if you choose to love that person, you feel me? Then you choose to love that person no matter how you feel. Like, if I was married, you feel me? And like, I'm married and I've decided I'm gonna love this person forever and stuff like that. Just because she might talk crap about my outfit one day and it makes me a little mad, you feel me? That doesn't mean stop providing for my household, stop providing for my wife, stop providing and stuff like that. No, that doesn't mean that. That means, all right, like, she has my emotions, you feel me? Let me keep my emotions checked so I don't do anything drastic because I feel I'm mad at the moment. You feel me? So that's how the heart can be deceitful. Let's look at the other ones. I wrote them down and I got them. So, like, the next one. This is 1 Samuel 16:7. You feel me? And this is, I'm just going to read a snippet. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It says, "For the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." So, to me, that means God looks at what has your heart. What is your heart attached to? You feel me? So it's like, is your heart attached to positive and good thinking, or is it attached to money? Is it attached to like frivolous things that aren't going to always be there? Is it attached to even some of the, even like some like relationship? Because like relationships are like, most relationships are solid things. You feel me? But like, even if you think about that, like, not everybody in their life has had their father consistently there. If you look on that and your heart's attached to that emotion, you feel me? Like, your heart's attached to that person, but that person is like logically isn't that great. You feel me? Your father hasn't been there, then it's like all right, maybe that's something that you shouldn't be holding on to so tightly. It's going to be hard, you feel me? Because off jump, a child is going to have their heart attached to their father and their mother, you feel me? Automatically, you feel me? But like, if that person is not the father figure, or has not been the father figure, or you are able to call that person dad, then it's like, it's all right, you have to learn how to all right, check your heart, you feel me? And like, God sees, because God wants your heart to be, the Lord wants your heart to be attached to things that are right. You feel me? I want, like, love people no matter what. You feel me? Because people are going to do people are going to suck. people are going to suck no matter what. Like, somebody is going to do something that's not great. Period. In general. You feel me? But at the end of the day, is your heart still attached to? All right, I want to be able to be that person that wasn't there for myself, or wasn't there for this person, or wasn't able to be thus and so for, you feel me, for the people in my for me, you feel me? So it's like, all right, is my heart attached to that? Because like, what has your heart, you feel me, is pretty much like hold up, I'm getting ahead of myself. Slow down, rewind. Another verse. Let's find another verse about it, you feel me? Oh, boom, duh. I'm ahead of myself, but I'm catching up with myself at the same time. Matthew 6:21. It says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Meaning, like, let me think of an example. Where the things that you hold the closest and the dearest, you feel me? That's where your heart is. Case in point, like, I spend a lot of money on camera stuff, right? Why? Because my heart is for entertaining and getting information out and affecting the minds of people. So, you feel me? Like, my treasure, my money, you feel me, goes to that. You feel me? A lot of time it goes to that. If you love food, you feel me, or you enjoy food a lot, a majority of your treasure or your money is going to go to food and eating and stuff like that. So to me, that verse is pretty much saying, like just think, like, example, like, where do you spend the most of your money, the majority of your money? You feel me? And why? It's because it has your heart. You feel me? Some people spend a lot of money on their family. You feel me? Christmas time, spending a lot of money on your family, blah blah, stuff like that. Why? Because your family has your heart. You feel me? That's where your heart is. So, like, just think, like take time and think, like, all right, well, what do I spend majority of my money on? You feel me? Like, I might spend a good helping of my money on, like, clothes. Why? Because I like clothes. Why do I like clothes? Because I like looking good. Boom. I personally like looking good. Where's your heart at? And sometimes you gotta dig deep to figure out where your heart truly is at. Clothes. Boom. I like spending money on clothes. Why? Because I like looking good. Why do I like looking good? Oh, because I care about myself. I love myself. I enjoy myself. Like, you feel me? Where's your heart at? Your heart is on yourself. Like, love yourself. You feel me? Don't love yourself too much, because that's not a good place to be at. You feel me? And don't not love yourself. There's like a middle ground you gotta stay at. You feel me? Sometimes you gotta dig deep to figure out, all right, where's my treasure truly at? You feel me? Where does like a lot of my like, and it's not even like just your treasure meaning money. Like, where does most of my time go? Oh, most of my time goes to my job. You feel me? Does that mean you love your job? You might not love your job. Your heart might not be at your job. But, like, dig deeper. All right, what is this giving? What is my job getting me? Money. You feel me? I'm getting money out of this. All right, I need money. Boom. Where do I spend my treasure at? Boom. Where's your time? Your friends. You will spend a lot of time. If you have friends that are close to you, you will make time for your friends. You feel me? You'll dig deep and you'll spend time with your friends. Why? Because your friends have your heart. You feel me? And even with that said, you gotta watch what has your heart, because sometimes the thing that has your heart is not positive for you. Going back to the heart being deceitful. Something that might have my heart could be like a relationship that I'm not ready for. You feel me? Or like you're not, like, a person's not ready for. Oh man, but I love her, blah blah. She's great, blah blah. But, like, is it positive for you? Is it progressing you? Is things getting better? Like, and if you can sit down and really, like, say, like, no, like, then that's something that your heart shouldn't have. Or like, oh, I'm dating him, blah blah, and, like, I really like him. I know he kind of wilding out sometimes, but I still care about him. All right, but if at the end of the day, is it beneficial for you? Is it helping you progress? Is it helping you do better? You feel me? Is that person lifting you up? You feel me? Even if it's, oh, all right, I'm getting little small things here that is positive. You feel me? But it's like, is it really beneficial to you? You feel me? That person can have your heart, but should they have your heart? Sometimes you got to look at it because this is where your intellect is, your head. You feel me? Like, you can't allow your heart to lead you outside of your intellect, because your intellect will tell you things. Your intellect is going off facts and stuff like that. So, like if you're going by, like, facts, and the facts are saying this ain't beneficial, this ain't helping, you feel me? You got to get your heart back from that situation. You feel me? You can't just allow that thing to have your heart if logically it's not great for you. If everybody and their mama saying, yo, this dude ain't good for you, you feel me? Sometimes you gotta listen to them, because why? Because their heart's not attached to that dude like yours is. You feel me? Sometimes, like, you heard of, like, having the love goggles on and stuff like that. Why? Because your heart is attached to that person, so it's clouding your judgment and your logic. You feel me? But people on the outside, if they see it looking in, they can be like, yo, that dude's not great for you. You feel me? That girl's not great for you. You feel me? Like, we know this. You feel me? Like, because their heart is not attached, they can see it from the outside. You feel me? So, like, sometimes you gotta think about those things. All right, if everybody and their mama saying that guy's not good for me, you feel me, and their heart's not attached to this situation, maybe they're seeing something that you don't see. You feel me? Just saying. You feel me? I got one more verse. Let me see what it is. All right, let's see what it is. It is Proverbs 4:23. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the springs of life. Okay, to me, right, that's pretty much what I was just saying. You got to guard your heart and watch your heart with with vigilance. You feel me? Like you got to do that. You got to do that, Jimmy. All like consistent, like continuously, and like tough. Like you can't just be like frivolous with your heart. Oh, there you go. You can have a piece of my heart. You can have that. Because if you keep doing that, you're gonna need a new heart. You feel me? Because like you might give your heart to someone. You feel me? And their hands might be dirty. You feel me? And they're not prepared to handle your heart with care. Because your heart has to be handled with care. Why? Because that's your emotions, and it's very important. You feel me? It's very important. You could give your heart to somebody and they got dirty hands, and it's like it's they're holding it, but it's not beneficial. Like it's making it muddy, it's getting it all dirty, it's miscuing your feelings, it's messing stuff up. But it's because you didn't guard your heart how you were supposed to. You feel me? So like you gotta just watch what you give your heart. You feel me? So like even like what I was saying, relationships. You can't give all your relationships. You can't just put your heart wholeheartedly into your relationships. You feel me? Especially if logically it's not good for you. You feel me? Or it's not beneficial for you. Let me see. Vigilance. I'm gonna look up what vigilance means. You feel me? Okay, boom. Vigilance. What does that mean? State of quality of being vigilant. Watchfulness. So pretty much looking out for your heart, watching your heart, making sure like, all right, like if I got a homie, right, and like like me and my homie been hanging out, blah blah, and then they do something, and then it's like my emotions are heightened. You feel me? Then you gotta check like, oh snap, like has it gotten to the point of I care about this person? You feel me? That they can draw out an emotion from me. You feel me? Like then it's like you gotta check yourself. Is it cool for me to have that? You feel me? Is it cool for me to allow that person to have my heart? You feel me? And even if you allow somebody to have your heart, you still gotta check it and you gotta be careful. You feel me? You can't allow people to just like have your emotions like that. You feel me? Like because if somebody has your emotions like that and then you act on it, you feel me? Especially like be careful acting on it. You could punch a wall and hurt your flipping thumb. You could, speaking from example, or like you can get mad and kick some and bust your toe and be out for like 3 days. Like speaking from example, you gotta watch what has your heart. You feel me? Because your heart has your emotions. You feel me? Logic, no. Your heart does not think logically. Your heart doesn't really think. You feel me? Your mind does. You feel me? Your mind is where your intellect is. You feel me? And like I might have to speak about the mind to be honest, because people be like, anyway, shut up, whatever, CJ. But like, yeah, pretty much that's it. For myself, I've had to learn how to control my heart and be careful with my heart because, like, as I was saying.